Do we have any projections on the coaching staff?
Not necessarily, Mark. It's still kind of up in the air. I will go down on offensive coordinator. So the big talk for a long time was Joe Brady. It was talks of this being a done deal. He's going to Miami. Multiple people, insiders, were what I mean by insiders, meaning people in the NFL, people who are in the know on social media, former coaches. They're like, yeah, Joe Brady to Miami is a done deal. Uh, Things didn't work out with that. Now, there's varying degrees of why it didn't work out. Talks of him not willing to stay here longer than 2 seasons. Talks of him wanting this astronomical number of $3.1 million to coach offense. At Miami, he wants head coach money. It, Again, these are reports. I tend to believe that one because of where it came from, but that's a lot of damn money, Mark, just to coach offense. And I try not to throw any slight towards him, but in my opinion, he was a part of a group project at LSU, and they all put their pieces into it, and it worked out, and they got an A+ grade. He also benefited off of that by going and getting the Carolina Panthers offensive coordinator gig. It didn't really work out when he was out on his own. Then now he's in talks of either going back to college or staying in the NFL as an assistant. Again, it was a group project. I think he played a big part in it. I'm not trying to disrespect what he did. I've done more research into it. And yes, he did call some third downs. He did call red zone plays. So he did play a part in what they did. I'm not trying to discount that by any means, but I'm happy that we didn't fall for it to where we just, all right, whatever, do whatever it takes, pay him whatever it is to get him to come here. Because that LSU roster for years was ready to boom. It was ready offensively. They had recruited wide receiver at a very high level. They had a very good offensive line. Joe Brady himself was also Joe Burrow, excuse me, was a graduate. So all he took probably one class to stay eligible or something like that. Who knows if he even took the class if somebody wasn't doing it for him, so he could just focus all in on football. So that was the conversation with what happened with Joe Brady. Now, let's move on to a second option who is starting to climb higher and higher, and that is Kendall Briles, the current offensive coordinator over at Arkansas. Now, Kendall Briles has a really nice history as far as his what he's done. Again, off the football field, there's varying conversations about what happened there, but there's little to no fact about it. So there's really no need to talk about it because we don't know what actually went down. Okay. Baylor, the offensive scheme that he put together there at Baylor with RG3 and Petty, those kind of QBs that were killing it with the spread and the way they were able to incorporate the run game. It wasn't just a wazoo 5 wide approach. It was a very mixed, balanced approach to being able to run the football and have 1,000-yard rushers while also having multiple 1,000-yard receivers and a 4,000-yard QB, no matter who you plugged in there. I'll sign up for that any day, especially when we got TBD and Jake Garcia and Ja'Cory Brown coming back to back to back after that. I would love if we were able to replicate that here at the University of Miami. So I like him. I like what he brings to the table. I had to do a little bit more research on Kendall Briles because, again, like a lot of people, when you first hear certain terms like off the field issues, like anything dealing with women, you kind of want to just X that person out. Instead, I decided to do some research and look into it, and there wasn't much that indicted him that really went after him. It was more of his father situation, which has been handled. He's out the game. That guy's far away. We don't have to worry about that. What he's done when he was at FAU under Lane Kiffin was also admirable. So he's been in the Big 12. He's gone down to the Conference USA, and now he's done really well up in the SEC at Arkansas. And under Coach Pittman, big time offensive line guy who took over in Arkansas, the way that he has taken this quarterback who was thought of to not be able to throw the football and not he just be a run guy, and he's made him look really well. Arkansas was the talk of the town a quarter into this season, for the first 3 or 4 weeks, and Kendall Briles did a very, very good job with that. So it would be a good move. I think it would be, in baseball terms, I would call it a triple if he was able to make it in. The only thing that I would say could make it a home run is if we were to match him up with, Frank Pounce or James Coley, like another big time elite recruiter to work with him. Because the official talk is that McClendon, the wide receiver coach over at Oregon, has accepted the job at Miami to be wide receiver coach and passing game coordinator. So we do have that information as far as the staff. Now, Kendall Briles could come in and be the official OC. And then also, I would love to see who would bring in as running backs coach and running game coordinator, which a very familiar name, and James Coley, who's currently head of recruiting over at Texas A&M, has been in talks of coming to Miami as a running backs coach and a running game coordinator, which I could get with. I could get with him being a part of the group project. I can't get with him being the head of the group project. He doesn't need to be the presenter. He needs to be one of the other guys that's standing up there. When his page comes up on a PowerPoint, then he turns around and says, "Oh yeah, this is my part to read it off." He's not the one, leading the whole presentation. So, that's kind of what's going on right now. Then, in last place, as far as third place, you do have the conversation about Ken Dorsey, the QB coach and passing game coordinator up for the Buffalo Bills, has been in communication with the University of Miami about coming down and interviewing officially. He's done some Zooms, he's had some meetings, things of that nature. But as far as officially interviewing for offensive coordinator position at Miami, Ken Dorsey is in conversation. But he wants to wait until his season is done. And that could be a little bit of ways away. So I think Miami's going to go in a different direction, only because we need to get on that recruiting trail with a staff in place, because there is a second signing day that's about 6 weeks away that we need to have answers. I would say in about 2 weeks. We need to have answers about who our offensive coordinator is, who our defensive coordinator is in about 2 weeks.